Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Youthman. Today we're going to play a fun game called Subwoofer Jenga. Nah, I'm just kidding. Hey, today we've got the SVS 3000 micros in for review. I've got 4 of them here. I just kind of turned them each a quarter turn. That way we can see all 4 sides of the subwoofers. In this video, we're just going to do a quick overview and kind of talk about what we see, the aesthetics, the design, the features. In a future video, I'll do a full review, as well as I'll probably end up doing 2 short videos, one on how to connect multiple subwoofers, and then I'm even going to do a video on, what happens when you do stack subwoofers like this. Of course, you're probably not going to stack them 4 high, but what happens if you stack 2 subwoofers? What if we put 2 subwoofers in one corner and 2 subwoofers in another corner? We'll take some measurements with REW and kind of show you what takes place when that happens. Now, if this is the first time that we're meeting, my name is Michael Stevens with Youthman Reviews. I make videos on home theater tips, tours, as well as product reviews like the 3000 Micro. So if that interests you, make sure you're subscribed. So let's go ahead and first talk about the aesthetics of this. The 3000 Micros come in either the gloss white or you can get them in a gloss black finish. Now, looking over this finish, it's absolutely gorgeous. Know that with the black gloss, you're going to see fingerprints quite a bit, but looking around this, I've handled these all over the place and you really don't see the fingerprints like you do with the black gloss, so that might be something that you consider. So just looking at the front of the subwoofer, super clean. We just got the SVS logo down on the bottom. Looking at the side of the subwoofers, we've got dual opposing 8-inch drivers. And so basically each active driver is facing the opposite direction. Now, what's good about that is that that will make this subwoofer very stable. It's not going to rock, it's not going to vibrate, because the opposing subwoofers pretty much are going to cancel each other out as far as any resonances, and this is just a cool little design and allows it to be really compact, and we get dual 8-inch subwoofers out of it. Looking at the speaker grills, I'm honestly really surprised at how sturdy these are, and they're very strong. So when I tap on it, I mean, you can hear it's solid, and I've pushed on these and they don't budge at all. There's no flex whatsoever. And if you look close, this middle section has a little indentation. And so my understanding is that they wanted to have this outer part extend out a little bit further because of the excursion of the woofer, but I'm not really sure why they have the dimple, unless maybe that just saves a little bit of space on the width of the unit. If we take a look at the back side, here we have the sledge amplifier. Now, this is an 800 watt continuous, 2500 watt peak amplifier. Up at the top, we've got controls for volume, on and off. You've got a low pass as well as phase adjustments. Now, of course, you can always make adjustments here directly on the subwoofer itself, but my recommendation is the SVS 3000 Micro does have the ability to connect to the SVS app, which is really cool. Now, I've got a full tutorial on the SVS app, so if you're interested in that, I'll leave a link to it right up here in the card above, as well as down in the description below. Down below the controls, we've got RCA inputs as well as outputs, and to the right of that is a 12-volt trigger input. Now, the 12-volt trigger allows you to connect a 3.5 millimeter from, say, your AVR or your processor to the subwoofer, and that way it'll turn this on and off automatically when you turn on and off your receiver. Now, if you've purchased the optional SVS SoundPath wireless audio adapter, you can connect that right here on the far left. Then all the way on the far right, we've got our typical power on, as well as below that is our 3-prong IEC power port. Now, if you're going to be connecting the 3000 Micro to a home theater setup, you're probably going to want to use the single red RCA LFE input. If you're connecting it to a 2-channel setup, then you're going to want to use the red and the white RCA input. Now, in my setup, most of you know I have 4 18-inch subwoofers. So I don't expect these to perform like those by any means, but I don't think that's the target audience that SVS is going for. This subwoofer is designed for somebody that needs a very compact subwoofer that doesn't take up a lot of space, has incredible wife acceptance factor, and they want the ability maybe to power it and adjust it, make some settings, even have some DSP control with the SVS app. The 3000 micro has a frequency response down to 23 Hz. It measures 10.9 inches high by 11.7 inches wide by 10.7 inches deep and weighs 22.5 pounds. Now these retail for $7.99 each. Now of course you can get larger subwoofers and maybe even pay less either from SVS or maybe even another brand. But the reality is somebody that's looking at this subwoofer probably isn't looking at larger 10-inch, 12-inch, 15-inch, or even 18-inch subwoofers. These fit a purpose. I think these are going to be ideal for small rooms, bedrooms, even an office setup. I think these would be killer with a set of 2-channel speakers in a home office. Now, as with most SVS subwoofers, we've got rounded edges along all 4 sides that gives it just a really nice modern appeal. And then down here on the bottom, you can see we've got 4 rubber feet that screw into the bottom. So if you did want to stack these maybe too high, then there's no issues doing that because of the rubber feet. Now, as I mentioned, I'll be making a few other videos on the 3000 micros, including a full review. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. And as always, you guys be blessed, and we'll catch you in the next video.